President Trump signed an executive order Monday seeking to prosecute people who desecrate the American flag. Sarakshi Rai, deputy managing editor for Audience here at The Hill, joins us to discuss. Sarakshi, so how is this going to work? Because there is this Supreme Court ruling that says that burning the flag, whatever we may think of it, is protected free speech.
That's right, Drew. Now, there was a 1989 Supreme Court ruling that ruled 5-4 in favor, that the flag burning is a First Amendment protected right. Now, basically, this is the president's attempt to go around that Supreme Court hearing. It's still, probably going to be challenged in court, perhaps. But what we do know is his executive order today states that this order that he signed banning flag burning will come with a 1-year jail time. He said in his Oval Office address to the nation while signing this executive order that flags were being burned all across the country, and he plans to make it illegal to do so. He also directed Secretary of State Marco Rubio to revoke all immigrant visas if they were found burning the flag as well. So a lot happening this morning in Washington, D.C., Drew.
What is the mechanism for going around the Supreme Court ruling? Like, how do they get around that?
That's right. It's still unclear how they're planning on going around the Supreme Court hearing because it is constitutionally protected as a First Amendment right. There was this ruling, and if you go back and read this 1989 ruling, some of the justices wrote that, it was a difficult decision to make, but they had to do it because it was clearly argued that it was a First Amendment right, and it had, burning a flag was the same as freedom of speech. So what is now going to happen is that the president has directed Pam Bondi to possibly look into other cases where they might be able to circumnavigate the Supreme Court and look for a precedent that basically kind of topples over, what the Supreme Court ruled in their ruling in 1989. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but the details are still pretty thin on that.
Has this been a big problem? I can't recall seeing videos or anything like that of people in the United States actually burning an American flag in a while. What is the kind of problem that the president is trying to identify here?
While it's not frequent, there have been some instances of flag burning. We've seen protesters burn the American flag at some of the anti-Israel protests. We've also seen some protesters burn the American flag in Los Angeles earlier this year. And those images, that the president was talking about, while not common, have appeared in media outlets and have been kind of shown as, and the president has noted that it's disrespectful to the country to see the American flag burned. So it's not frequent, but it has happened in a couple of instances since the last year. We also saw the American flag being burned by a few protesters outside the DNC convention last year. So all of that kind of ticking up in conservative media outlets, but also the president kind of focusing on the fact that it is disrespectful.
I saw in the executive order that the president was instructing the attorney general to come up with litigation to clarify the scope of the First Amendment as it pertains to this issue. Do we have an idea of what exactly that means?
Basically, that means is he wants her to go and see if there's a case that could, maybe help their case and bolster it if it does get challenged legally in the courts. He has also, it was a off-the-cuff remark after she spoke where he directed her to do that. So we'll wait to hear more from the president on that front as well, Drew.
I wonder if this will be applied to old cases where if somebody burnt the flag in the past and maybe prosecutors said, look, this is First Amendment protected speech, if they could maybe revisit that now and say, look, under this new interpretation, maybe there was a crime that was committed.
Look, there is something called a statute of limitations, and that might very well apply in this case to some instances of flag burning. It'll be very difficult to kind of not have to argue against the statute of limitations for a crime. But what he has directed Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, to do is to look into cases. So the timeline could very well be that, going forward now, they're going to start investigating when all those instances took place and perhaps retroactively apply this law to those instances as well, Drew. But they're definitely going to be a crackdown on visas being revoked or being issued to those who have taken part in in instances of flag burning.
All right, it's a case we will continue to follow. For now, we'll leave it at that. Surakshi Rai, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.